At the beginning of the movie, we are shown a child named Meng and her mother, who are checking the condition of a volcano. At that moment, the volcano is about to erupt. On the other side, her father is at a station and realizes what is happening. He tells them to leave the place. After that, her father rushes to pick up his wife and Meng. His wife manages to lift Meng onto a truck, but unfortunately his wife is hit by an explosion and she is left behind by the truck. After that, her father hurries to save his wife, but his car is also hit by an explosion and his car flips over. And finally, they are both swept away by the hot lava. 10 years later, Meng's father, who is still alive, is doing a presentation about the dangers of the volcano, where the island from the beginning is now turned into a resort and theme park by a businessman and his wife. And it turns out that Meng also works in this place. She works as a security or monitoring team for the volcano. So she monitors the activity of the volcano here, and if there is any danger that will happen, she will surely know because she has planted a system here. Here there is a little disturbance, that is, one of her colleagues accidentally pulls a lever, and Meng almost falls, but luckily one of her friends named Zhengnan can hold the rope and pull Meng up. Meng, who has grown up, is no longer with her father. She works as a volcano monitor because she wants to be like her mother. Because her work here is finished, she wants to go back to the headquarters. After that, Meng gathers with her colleagues to discuss her project, and after working on it for several years, her project is finally finished. On the other side, we see Meng's father watching the news, and it turns out that the mountain has the same activity as 10 years ago, which means it could explode again. Then we are introduced to the owner of the island. His name is Harris and his wife, and here there is also Harris's secretary, Hui, who is Meng's friend and Zhengnan's girlfriend. Harris is explaining the island to the investors. He explains how profitable the island is for them and the money that the island generates for them. After that, he tells his wife to take the investors to the peak event on the island, which is to the crater. Meng then talks to Harris. She says that the island could be in danger because the data says so, but Harris insists, and he says that the island can generate a lot of money, and if we close it now, we will lose a lot of money. So what Harris thinks about here is only his money or his own profit. Meng returns to her headquarters, and here she is given advice by her captain, Captain Zhang. After that, one of Meng's friends, Teng, gives her a new drone. The drone will be used to monitor the condition of the volcano. Suddenly her father comes here. Meng's father invites her to leave the island because he realizes something, that the volcano will erupt soon. But Meng refuses him by showing the results that she has obtained for several years. Then, in the middle of the conversation, Teng suddenly says that the helicopter is ready, where Meng will go to the top of the volcano to evaluate it. On the other side, Harris's wife is inviting the investors to go to the crater of the volcano, using a train that they have made. Then we go back to Meng and her father. Meng's father decides to join Meng, who goes to the crater because he is worried that something will happen up there, and Teng monitors them, using a drone from the headquarters. The investors and Harris's wife arrive at the crater, and they go down to the crater. Not directly, but near it. And so do the researchers. They also arrive at the crater, and it turns out that Zhang is Meng's father's friend, and he also took care of Meng when she was little. Then we see a place, that is, under the volcano there is a spring, and Zhengnan and Hui are dating under there. Zhengnan invites Hui to swim in the spring, but not just swimming, it turns out that Zhengnan plans to propose to Hui under the spring. Then we go back to Meng and her father. Here a quarrel occurs between the father and daughter. Meng is angry because her father is always not by her side when Meng is in important moments, and her father can only be silent listening to her explanation. At the headquarters, Teng is checking the condition of the volcano and finds out that the volcano will erupt soon. Her father goes down to warn the people who are there, and the proposal of Zhengnan and Hui has to be postponed because the lava has entered the spring and they have to find a way out through the pipes. And in short, they both manage to get out of there, even though they have some problems. The condition of the volcano is getting worse, and here Captain Zhang dies because he is hit by a burst of lava, and the rescue helicopter also falls and almost hits Meng and her friend. But luckily they both manage to avoid it. Then, as Meng's father said earlier, lava begins to fall from the volcano and causes many people to die here. But fortunately, Meng, her father, and others manage to get to the top of the crater. And at the headquarters, Teng instructs everyone to leave, except him, because at least there must be one person who monitors the situation. We go back to Meng and her father. After they get to the top, they immediately rush into the capsule train. And because there are so many people, the capsule train has to be divided into two. And one of the tracks of the train is hit by lava and destroyed. Therefore, they have to move people from the left side to the right side of the train. They manage to cross some people, but there is one person who is impatient, and he fails to cross. And of course, he falls and dies. Then there are 3 people left on the train: Meng, her father, and Harris's wife. They don't have time to jump to the other train and they end up falling down. But luckily they survive and meet Zhengnan and Hui, who escaped from the spring earlier, and the other train manages to get to the bottom safely. And here Harris is looking for his wife, but he can't find her. They finally get into his car and leave this place. After that, the flying rocks hit the bottom of the island, and Harris begins to realize that what he did was wrong. On the other side, the lava will go to a village that can kill all the villagers there. But Meng has an idea. If she can open the dam, she can divert the lava flow and not directly lead it to the village. We go back to Harris. He has given up because he can't find his wife. He relaxes in front of the CCTV, and here he sees a little child who is crying in the middle of the meteor shower. Harris approaches the child. The child's name is Shanshan, and she is looking for her mother who actually died. After that, Harris takes the child to the beach and hands her over to the rescue boats. Before that, he gives his watch to Shanshan. When he gets to the beach, he doesn't want to board the rescue boat because he's still waiting for his wife. Actually, Harris is a good husband, but he is blinded by money. And here Harris also dies, hit by a meteor. We go back to Meng and her friends. They are on their way to the reservoir control place. And here they encounter a lot of obstacles from the lava. Luckily, with a very skilled driver, they manage to get to the place. But unfortunately, after they get there, the lever that they have to pull is under the lava and they can't pull it. Meng has an idea to crash her truck into the wall, and luckily with that way they manage to open the dam and make the lava flow not go to the village anymore. Then, because of the volcanic dust, Zhengnan's car breaks down and here Hui invites him to pick up his grandfather who is in the village. Finally, Zhengnan and Hui go to the village and the others stay here to fix the car. Zhengnan and Hui manage to get to Hui's house, and unfortunately Hui's grandpa is dying because he is hit by a piece of rock from the volcano. Her grandpa tells them to leave him and tells Zhengnan to take care of Hui. And unfortunately, after they leave Hui's house, the place is surrounded by fire and they both give up on dying here. Luckily, suddenly a car breaks in from somewhere and it turns out that it is Meng and her father. After that, they immediately rush to leave this place. Because Zhengnan realizes that Hui's grandfather didn't come, he calms Hui down. At the headquarters, Teng is attacked by small meteor rocks, but he manages to put them out with a fire extinguisher. We go back to Meng and her friends. They are unlucky here and trapped on the lava. But luckily they all survive because of the hooks that are attached to the rocks. After that, they all manage to get to Teng's place. They quickly treat their wounds and here a touching scene also happens. Meng's father gives her a device that used to belong to her mother, and her father also says that he is very sorry for losing her mother, and he doesn't want to lose Meng. That's why her father forbids Meng to work in this place, because he is afraid of losing Meng like he lost her mother. But the touching moment doesn't last long. They have to leave this place because the meteor has reached this place. And unfortunately, when they cross the wooden bridge here, Meng's father can't cross it because the wooden bridge is hit by a meteor. Meng tells her father that she will find a helicopter and pick him up here. Therefore, Meng tells her father to stay here. After that, they leave because the situation is impossible. Finally, Meng's father leaves this place using Meng's motorcycle because this place will also explode. On the other side, Meng and her friends manage to get to the helicopter. But unfortunately, the helicopter doesn't want to go back because the place is very dangerous. And Meng's father, who is fighting hard to get through the lava, unfortunately falls here. And to let them know his whereabouts, Meng's father shoots a flare. And Meng realizes it. She realizes that there is a flare there and tells the helicopter to pick up her father. But unfortunately, it's all too late. And finally, Meng's father is swept away by the volcanic ash from the volcano. So both of Meng's parents die in the same way, by being hit by volcanic ash from the same volcano. When they arrive at the safety camp, Meng looks gloomy, and all the news on TV broadcasts about the volcanic eruption. Hui, who is very sad to lose his grandfather, is suddenly proposed by Zheng Nan. And he says that you still have me. Hui accepts his proposal. On the other side, there is Meng, who's very sad because she lost her father. And Harris's wife, who doesn't know where Harris is, sees Shan Shan, the child who was saved by Harris earlier. She sees Harris's watch, and she asks Shan Shan if the person who gave him the watch went with him on the boat. Shan Shan answers no, and Harris's wife cries. In the middle of that, suddenly the news on TV says that the rescue team has found someone who survived, and it turns out that the person is Meng's father. Before he left this place, he checked Meng's project to find an empty space that he could use to hide from the hot lava. And luckily, Meng's father managed to find it. And the real purpose of him lighting the flare was so that he could be found. After all this ended, he was successfully found. Meng's father was taken to the rescue boat, and he met Meng. Meng was very happy to meet her father. Then, after they hugged to relieve their longing, the movie ends. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Because by subscribing, you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.